Hi guys, so today we are doing hi guys, so today you're welcome to today's series, ML series. So today's session we if you are new here, you would have to watch the first session to help you with it. So the main purpose for this series is to know how to create simple ML models, and we started with having a simple linear regression, and today we are predicting a student course. So then again, to make everything easier, we are also using the help of Almighty ChatGPT to get this done. So all we have to do is go through the process, try to understand what it has done, then we are good to go. So for today's session, we just jump right into it. So we start with getting our collab. We already have done first project in our collab, so we would have to create a new notebook to get that started. So it's loading a bit. Let's wait more and see. Perfect. So so what we are talking about is predicting student records. So predicting student records. That's what I would save my collab, my file with predicting student scores. That's a bit long, but yeah. So the next thing is I'll be sharing some of the content here, but most of it I'll be typing it so that as we go on, as you type, you tend to understand what it is, you make mistakes, and you learn from your mistakes. So first thing is we are going to have a CSV file that we would import and make good use of. So first and foremost, what we are going to do is we are going to import our usual libraries. So first, let's comment so that whoever comes later on will understand what we have done. So step one, we are importing our libraries. Okay. So by importing our libraries, we type them. So we import pandas as PD. We import numpy as NP, and we import matplotlib and pyplot as PLC. So from title name, we import linear regression tab. So we are done with our first step, simple and easy. So our second step is to load our data. So those that our previous session, our first video, we just created the data inside our file here, our collab file here. But today we are going to save this data in a Excel sheet, save it as CSV, then we import it inside this sheet. So this is a very great step that you should know how to, because most of the time you would have to import data as well, because sometimes the data is very huge and it would be very unwise to always load it manually. So it's better to have it somewhere, then you call it. So today's event will be so. So before that, let's create our CSV file. Let's create our Excel sheet. Then we create our new Excel sheet, which is hours and scores. So we have something like this. It shouldn't be so. I think some formulas will work here. I think I would have to copy and share again. Okay, I think I need to should have done this differently. So we got our data to reduce workload. What we did was just to go into our chat GPT and make sure for it to give us that Excel sheet. Remember, we are doing everything easy and peasy, no much work. So what we did was to let me bring mine. So what I did was, since I got this, the data they sent, I copied and pasted and realized that it wasn't helping. I have to do the edit and try to shift it. And we are reducing work. So what I did was to tell ChatGPT to give me so can you give me the data in Excel format? So it did that. Let's open it. So we have it like this, and we save it as a CSV file. Yes. So we do that. We have our data saved. But mind you, we wanted to save our data like a CSV file. So let me save it in a different folder. So I haven't really created a folder for this awesome project. Okay, so let's create a new project. We created it on YouTube underscore ML course. So that's what we'll be saving our students' records on. And again, I was supposed to save it as CSV. So CSV, CML source, limited. Let's see the first one. Okay. So let's leave it as Excel like that and upload it onto our give us focus. Give us upload it here. So we upload the file here. So we go to desktop and go to YouTube and our course. Then let's open that to see if that's what we have. Perfect. So we open that. Okay. So we have our students underscore course the CSV. So all we will do is we would hold this data, right? So that's our next step. That is importing. Sorry, load the data. The data equals to pd.read underscore CSV. Here lies the keys. Okay, underscore CSV. Then into bracket student underscore course dot CSV. So why this? We are writing this because that's the name of the data. The Excel sheet, that's the name, so that I'll be able to identify it very well. So our next step is dividing our data into our X and Y. So here our hours. So we have this. So hours. This is a string. So all of these are features, right? Things that will help in our decision making. So why? It's equals to data then cost. Okay. So that's our target variable. That is what we are aiming for. At the end of the day, we should be able to predict. At the end of the day, we should be able to predict a system that can look at hours of studying and predict the scores of the students. So our third step is what? Our third step is to train the model. So first, we've imported most of our libraries that we'll be using. And the second thing is we got our data. And this time around, we got a data externally. And we uploaded the data inside our collab. Then we called it. We used the directory of where it was saved. Then we called it there. Then the data, we were able to divide it into two based on this, because that's what's actually within the data. So we have the features, which is our, and we have the target variable, which is the score. So our third step would be to train our model. So 3, train the model. So model yeah. So we do model phase, model the phase. So it looks at this our data. This is in the phases. So our next thing is to run the model. So we have x is not defined. We have our x here. I don't know why it's here. Okay, we didn't run this. So let's run it again. Okay, so linear regression. Then it shows that everything is good. So step 4 is to predict our score. Interesting. Alright, what's the np.array and that's that 6.5. So this is our hours that we input for our students. So our model is going to predict what are the scores that our students would get. So predicted score underscore score, which is equal to our model dot predict bracket hours. Then we print this, show if it really worked or not. So this F in front of the predicted score for 6.5. So this F in between in front of this string is there solely for the purpose of formatting, so that we are not now adding space in between the strings to get the space, or not trying to compress all of the printouts that will come out of the function print. So we use the formatting, which is this. Okay, so we don't close it here. So within it, we call the predicted score, and what do? The index 0, I think. The first. What's the first bit? So dot 2 x. So we run this to see if our model really works. So we have quite some errors, which it says that this one does not support unsupported format, string path, numpy. So I think we should remove the F in the field. So print. Then we do the old way of calling our prediction. So predicted score for 6.5 hours of study is then concatenation is and concatenation, then predict score. Yeah, predicted score. Then you can see the first one to the second one. The third, yeah, the second one. The last one is this art did not contain a list of signature matches. Isn't it? Okay, so I think we can just go one because we don't have a list that can go from 1, 0, then 2, 1, then 2. Even with that one, art did not contain a list. Okay, let's check something. So I don't like stress and okay. So yeah, that's when you think your life, everything is being prepared for me. I remember I was a refresher course for fighting just a day ago, and this was one of the things that was taught at the session. At least I have a fresher of understanding. It says X does not have valid feature names, but linear regression was totally. So the issue was that X, we made it small x. We should have made it big x. Let's see if that's the case because that's what our model knows. So let's start from our first. So X does not have valid feature names, but linear regression was treated with feature names warning. So our X had values, which is ours. Let's open our data entry. So we see we have ours, we have scores. So I don't know what it's talking about. So predicted score for 6.3. Oh, okay. So predicted score for 6.5 hours of study is 63.53, which means our model worked. Our model really worked. That's great. That's great. So our next thing to do is to what? I can't hear you. To predict the score, right? No, to visualize. To visualize. So we've been able to do that. Let's visualize and see what we would get to have an understanding of how everything went about from start to finish. Visualize. Yeah. So we plot PLT dot scatter into bracket. This is equal to blue. So we align blue. Was it yellow? Yeah. Yeah. Okay, then we name the label. Label is equal to actual data. So we have plot again. Plot the plot into bracket. Have x model day. So model predict, then we put color there. Color which is equal to red. Then label which is equal to regression line. So our next thing is plot x label. X label, then our static then PLT dot YLABL. Forward. Then we do our title. PLT dot title. Alright. Versus forward. Then we do PLT dot legend. Then PLT dot find grid, sorry. Grid grid lines. So we have PLT dot show. I need to get water to drink to rehydrate. So to hydrate, so we run this, give a star. So you could see this. We have data here, which means as more and more hours you increase, there's a high likely chance that you are going to increase your score. So yeah, I think that's all for this session. This is very, very simple. I would go to send in the next session. Thank you so much. Bye bye.